Why do I never have anything to talk about? Am I just dumb? Every conversation I get into turns into awkward silence because I have nothing to say. Why can't I ever hold a conversation? Sorry if it sounds more like a rant and seeking advice. Alright, let's tackle this one head on. First of all, you're not dumb. Let's clear that up right now. The fact that you're even reflecting on this means you're thoughtful and self-aware, which is something not everyone can say. Conversations can be tricky though, so let's break this down. First, awkward silences happen to everyone. Even the most talkative people run out of things to say sometimes. The key isn't to avoid silence altogether, but to learn how to navigate it. One way is to focus less on what you should say and more on what the other person is saying. Be curious. Ask open-ended questions like, what have you been up to lately? Or what's something you're really into right now? People love talking about themselves, and when you show genuine interest, the conversation tends to flow naturally. Second, don't put so much pressure on yourself to be interesting. You don't need to be a stand-up comedian or a walking encyclopedia to hold a conversation. Sometimes the simplest topics, like a recent movie you watch, a funny moment from your day, or even something random like what's the weirdest food you've ever tried, can open the door to deeper chats. And hey, let's talk about those awkward silences. You know what? They're not always a bad thing. Silence can give both people a moment to think and reflect. If it's happening often, it could also mean the vibe isn't right with that person, and that's okay too. Not every conversation will be a home run, and that's not a reflection of your worth. Lastly, let's squash the idea that not having something to say makes you less intelligent. Being quiet or reserved isn't a flaw. It's just part of your personality. Some people are natural listeners rather than talkers, and that's a strength in its own way. So instead of feeling bad about it, lean into it. You might find that people really appreciate your ability to listen and make them feel heard. What do you guys think? How do you handle conversations that feel like they're going nowhere? Drop your advice in the comments. I'm sure it'll help more people than you realize.